Hello, I am Khaja Asifullah, lecturer in chemistry from Government Degree College, Palaknuma, Hyderabad. Today, I present a video lesson on thermodynamics from chemistry. It is the third part in the series. Since we are continuing the chapter, and this is the third lesson. Today, we will first discuss about heat. Heat is nothing but a form of energy. As you know, energy exists in different forms like light, heat, and many other forms. Heat is one such form of energy. Heat is generally exchanged between systems and surrounding. You know that system is anything which is under consideration or under study or under observation, like a beaker full of water is also a system, and surroundings are nothing but the air and the beaker which is present around that water. So that heat can be exchanged between the system and surrounding. Means the water, if you take as a system, can absorb heat from the surrounding or energy in the form of heat, and if water is hot, then it will release or boost energy to surrounding. This is called exchange of heat between system and surrounding. Why it happens? It is due to difference in temperature between them. And you know, the temperature is measure of heat or energy. And if temperature difference is present between two bodies or a system and surrounding, they can exchange heat. Generally, heat flow from a hot body to a cold body, or anything which has more energy can lose its energy and it will be transferred to the colder body. Heat is represented by Q and its units are calories, joules, erg, etc. In a SI system, the units of heat are joules. When heat is given out by a system to the surrounding or to any other body, it is given a negative sign. Why? Because there will be loss of energy in the form of heat by the system, hence it is taken as negative. On the other hand, when heat is absorbed by the system from the surrounding or from any other body, it is given a positive sign. Why? Because its energy increases. So the difference in energy will be positive. This figure illustrates the same thing. This is the system, as I told you just now. A system can absorb energy from the surrounding. This is a system in which gas is taken in a cylinder fitted with a piston. This gas here is called system and the air around it is called surrounding. Heat can be absorbed by gas or it can be lost by the gas. If heat enters into the system or if gas absorbs energy, then it is positive. If heat leaves the system, or if it is lost by the system, it is taken negative. So it is positive Q, it is negative Q. Here positive heat and positive work convention. If heat is taken by the system, or if heat is absorbed by the system, the heat is taken as positive, or positive sign is given to that. Whereas when a system absorbs energy, it can do some work. So the work done by the system is taken as positive. So these are the sign conventions. We have to remember that. Now we were talking about the units of heat. Calories and joules are the units. They are interrelated like this. 1 calorie is equal to 4.184 joules, or it is about 1.42 approximately. So it is 1.4184 joules. And if we convert joule into calorie, it will be 0.239 calories. Now, as I said just now, temperature is the measure of heat or energy. Generally, we measure the temperature of a body using a thermometer, etc., and we note down the temperature. It gives you an idea how hot a body is, or how much cold a body is. That means it gives you the idea of heat or energy in it. So by knowing the temperature of a body, we can know how much hot or cold is a particular body. Generally, heat transfers from hot body to cold body until and unless some other system is there which supports the cold body to transfer heat. Therefore, it is a natural phenomenon that every hot body transfers heat to cold body, or the heat flows from hot body to cold body. Now, what is the relation between heat and work, especially the mechanical work? Generally, these two, that is work done and the heat evolved, are interrelated by Joule's law. Joule states that work done, W, is directly proportional to the heat produced. Means whenever some work is done, heat will produce. Even if small work is there, it can produce a small amount of energy, and they are directly proportional to each other. So W is directly proportional to Q, or when we convert it into equation, it will be W is equal to J into Q. We know that W stands for work, Q for heat, and here J is called Joule's constant, or it is also called as mechanical equivalent of heat. Then if we take work as 1 and Q also as 1, then J will become equal to 1. Or for Q is equal to 1, W becomes equal to J. Therefore, the mechanical equivalent of heat, J, can be defined as the work done when 1 calorie of heat is absorbed, or it is released when some work is done. Next is internal energy. It is represented by E. Then what is internal energy? It is the energy stored in a body or an object or a substance or a system, or in general, the internal energy of a system is nothing but the total energy stored in that system. And you know, total energy is sum of different forms of energies, like it will be the sum of potential energy and kinetic energy. Again, the kinetic energy is sum of energies like translational energy, vibrational energy, etc. So, if we consider that the kinetic energy is sum of E translational plus E rotational plus E vibrational plus E oscillational and plus E electronic, E nuclear, etc. So, we should keep it in mind that kinetic energy is sum of all these energies. So finally we can say E total is the sum of potential energy and kinetic energy. We should remember that we cannot calculate or measure the internal energy of a system. So it is not possible to calculate internal energy of a system, but the change in internal energy of a system can be calculated. What is the meaning? If we consider a system having two states, initial and final, or first and the last state, then the difference of internal energies of these two states, that is E1 and E2, is given by delta E, which will be equal to E2 minus E1. This we can calculate. And delta E will be positive if energy is absorbed by the system, and delta E will be negative if the energy is released by the system. So it is nearly same as in the case of heat. Why? Because heat and energy are same, or they are interconvertible forms. So whenever internal energy is increased, that will be given by positive. When it is lost, it will be given by negative. Here, this illustrates the total energy of a system, or internal energy, E total, which is sum of potential energy and kinetic energy. Now, heat flows from hot body to cold body. How it flows? When they come into contact with each other. So thermal contact is necessary when heat is to be transferred from hot body to cold body. That means they should be in contact with each other. Now this is a picture which illustrates the system having difference in energy which is less than 0. In initial state, the water was in gaseous form. Sorry, reactants, that is H2 and O2, which can produce water as product. So it is a chemical reaction and taking place between hydrogen and oxygen, which are in gaseous state. And this is internal energy, and y-axis we have taken. Now, as the reactants are converted into product, that is liquid water, this is called initial state and this is called final state, E1, E2. So E2 minus E1 is less than 0. means it is negative. Why? Because individual reactants will have more energy. Their energy is up to this, and the product will have less energy. This is the reason why the reaction will be spontaneous. So the loss of energy, this loss of energy is due to formation of product, and this energy was lost to the surrounding. So here in this particular case, delta E is less than 0. And in general, gases will possess more energy than liquids. Now let us consider functions, state function and path function. What are state functions? Thermodynamic variables which are determined by the initial and final states of the system, or which depend on the state of system only and not by the path followed. The path followed has no influence on that. That is, not on the manner by which the initial state is changed to final state are called state functions. That means the thermodynamic variables which depend only on initial and final state of the system are called state functions. What are they? The important are temperature, mass, pressure, volume, internal energy, free energy, entropy, enthalpy, work function, etc. So temperature, mass, pressure, volume, internal energy, free energy, entropy, enthalpy, work function are few of the examples of state functions. Now, path function. These thermodynamic variables depend on the path followed. So, thermodynamic variables, the change in the value of which during a process depends upon the path followed are called path functions. And the examples of path functions are heat, work, etc. Note, only state functions can be differentiated or integrated. Here in thermodynamics, we differentiate a particular value and quantity. Here we can only integrate or differentiate the state functions and not the path functions. Therefore, we can write the difference in internal energy as dE, means E2 minus E1, but small change in heat and work cannot be represented like dQ or dW. These we can represent as dou Q and dou W. This is called as dou. Delta here is called dou Q and dou W. Now we will consider the first law of thermodynamics, which relates internal energy with heat and work. So in first law, these three, internal energy, heat and work, are interrelated. This picture shows that the system, which is again a gaseous system or a gas enclosed in a cylinder fitted with a piston. Here when heat is absorbed, it expands, means it will do some work. Why? When we keep the pressure constant, the molecules of gas will hit or collide with the surface of the piston, and the piston will move up. As a result, pressure volume work will be done. Now, sometimes if heat is not given to the system, Then what happens if system do work? The internal energy of the system will decrease. So when system do work at the expense of internal energy, its internal energy decreases. But anyway, this is the initial state and this is the final state of the system. Here, this work is called compression. When the gas expands, it is called expansion. When it is compressed, it is called compression. And this is the equation by which these quantities, internal energy, heat and work, that is E, Q and W, are related to each other. Before going to detail, let's consider first law of thermodynamics. What are the statements of first law of thermodynamics? Because we have different statements. First law of thermodynamics is the law of conservation of energy, and it can be defined as energy can neither be created nor destroyed, although it can be converted from one form to another. This is the first statement for first law of thermodynamics, because as I said, it has different statements, or in different ways it can be stated. So it is first one statement that energy can neither be created nor destroyed, which is nothing but law of conservation of energy. This first law of thermodynamics can also be stated in different ways as follows. So this is the second statement of first law of thermodynamics, according to which the total energy of an isolated system remains constant, although it can undergo a change from one form to another. For an isolated system, the total energy of that system will be constant. But the energy can be changed its form. One more statement, this is the third one. Whenever a quantity of some form of energy disappears, an exactly equivalent amount of some other form of energy must be produced. It is nothing but saying that energy can change its form from one form to another, or it can be transformed. Different forms of energy or energies are interconvertible. If energy in one form disappears, it will reappear in other form in equivalent amount. For example, here, the temperature change from T1 to T2. Then what happens? The energy will change. And if initial volume is more, the final volume is less, then compression will take place. On the other hand, if initial volume is less and final volume is more, expansion will take place. How a gas can be expanded? By absorbing heat, or when we supply some heat, the gas will gain that heat and the molecules of gas will gain the energy and their kinetic energy will increase. As a result, number of collisions per second will increase. As a result, the pressure of gas increases, and hence the piston of the cylinder will move up, and hence the expansion of gas takes place. Another form of first law of thermodynamics: for a system in contact with its surrounding, the sum of energies of the system and surrounding at a particular time remains constant. Howsoever differently it may be shared between them. What is the meaning? If a system is placed in a surrounding, then the sum of energy subsystem and surroundings will be constant. But they can exchange energy or heat between them. The system can give energy in the form of heat to surrounding, or surrounding can give energy in the form of heat to the system. So they can share their energies, but the total energy will be constant. This is nothing but, as we say, that hot bodies transfer heat to cold body, or heat flow from hot bodies to cold body when they are in contact. Let this body is hot than this body, then the heat will flow from this body to this body. The heat is transferred, but the total energy or total heat of these two will be same. Now, another definition, which is given by Helmholtz in 1847. According to Helmholtz, it is impossible to construct a perpetual machine, that is a machine which would produce work continuously without consuming energy. What is the meaning? The meaning of this is, whenever a machine or a system do some work, it will lose energy. But if it works continuously, it has to gain energy from other source. Otherwise, it cannot work continuously. So it is not possible to construct a machine which can produce work or which can work continuously without absorbing heat. It is not possible. Now, according to Joule, we have this expression that work is directly proportional to heat, or W is directly proportional to heat. And this can also be considered as a statement of thermodynamics first law, which says that when some work is done, equivalent amount of heat will be produced. Similarly, according to Einstein's mass energy equivalence relationship, we have mass and energy as interconvertible. Means when some mass is disappeared, some energy will be released, which are related to each other by this equation called as mass energy equivalence relationship, given by Einstein, whose equation is E is equal to mc square, where E is energy, mass is, m is mass, which is destroyed or lost or converted into energy, and c is velocity of light. This relationship is hold good generally for small mass which is lost or destroyed. For example, atomic particles, subatomic particles can produce energy which can be related by this equation, E is equal to mc square. Anyway, this equation says that mass and energy are interconvertible and they are related to each other by this equation, E is equal to mc square. Anyway, when some mass is lost, it will appear in equivalent amount of energy. So the total mass ion energy of an isolated system remains constant in chemical thermodynamics. So it is also a form of first law of thermodynamics, which says that the total mass and energy of an isolated system remains constant in chemical thermodynamics. Means these two laws are combined here: law of mass, conservation of mass, as well as law of conservation of energy. And here we have taken chemical thermodynamics, a system which may be a chemical reaction or process in which total mass of reactants and product will be equal, and the total energy content of reactants and product will be equal. If they are not equal, then either energy will be absorbed by the system or lost by the system to surrounding. For example, if reactants energy content is more than the energy content of product, then reactants will release energy when they form product. And this energy released will go into the surrounding, or it will be absorbed by the surrounding, and it is generally given by negative sign. On the other hand, if product's energy content is more, then the product will absorb energy from the surrounding, and the sign is positive, or here we will give positive sign to it. Now, the mathematical form of first law of thermodynamics. In mathematical relationship for a mathematical calculation, or how to calculate or how to relate these three quantities: internal energy, work, and heat, we have a relationship. If we consider that a system is in initial state A, whose internal energy is EA, or in first stage E1, which is undergoing a change to final state B with internal energy EB, or for second state it may be E2, and it is undergoing transformation or change by absorbing heat Q. Naturally, there will be change in internal energy of the system. Now we say that the energy is absorbed by the system. Naturally, it will absorb energy from surrounding. When it absorbs energy, its internal energy will increase. As a result, the internal energy of system in first state is less than the internal energy in the second state, or EB is greater than EA. When a system absorbs energy, it can perform some work. Therefore, we say that the system is undergoing change by absorbing heat Q, and it performs some work W. Then how to relate these three? Change in internal energy is equal to heat absorbed minus W. Because we are supposing that the system is absorbing energy as well as it is doing some work. Therefore, when the system absorbs energy, it will not be utilized to increase internal energy of the system totally. Why? Some of the heat is utilized to do some work by the system. If the system is a gaseous system in which gas is taken in a cylinder, then it may expand. So to expand, it will consume some amount of energy. As a result, the heat cannot be changed into internal energy totally. So the difference in increase in internal energy will be given by Q minus W. This is the mathematical form of first law of thermodynamics. Delta E is equal to Q minus W. This is the net change in total internal energy, delta E, which is actually E2 minus E1 or EB minus E1. That means the internal energies are final state of the system and initial state of the system. And this is the heat absorbed by the system. And this is the work done by the system. This is the system. Heat is entered into the system, but it is not totally utilized to increase its internal energy. Why? Because it is doing some work. Therefore, this Q will not be equal to the increase in internal energy, but it is the difference between the heat absorbed minus work done. Why? Because to do some work, it needs some energy in the form of heat. Now, heat is not gained in large amount, but if we consider that it is in small amounts, when we differentiate it or integrate it, we are considering that in small amounts. So dE will be given as equal to dou Q minus dou W. If the work done is the work of expansion, as I told you just now, that if we take a gaseous state system in which gas is taken in the cylinder is fitted with a movable piston, then when heat is gained by the gas, naturally gas will exert some pressure. If external pressure is not increased, the gas will expand. So that is called work of expansion, or work done by the gas is nothing but work of expansion only. And the volume will increase. Volume will not increase suddenly. We think that the volume of gas increases in small amounts dV. It is against the external pressure. Why? Because we are keeping the pressure constant. If we apply the pressure slowly, it will not increase, but here the pressure is constant, external pressure is constant, therefore we allow the gas to expand, so it will do some work. Now dou W will be equal to P into dV. That means pressure into volume will give you the work done. Hence the equation will become, here we are substituting work, small work, as P delta V or P dV. dV is the small change in volume of the gas. And this is small amount of heat absorbed. This is a small amount of heat or internal energy which is increased or decreased. In the case of compression, it will decrease. In the case of expansion, it will. So some special forms of first law. This is the equation for first law of thermodynamics, but we have different special forms. Number one, for a cyclic process resulting to its original state, means the system will first transform into second or final state, then again come back to its initial state or first state. For a process of isothermal expansion of ideal gas, heat is absorbed. This is the original or initial volume of the gas, this much. Then when heat is absorbed, it will increase its internal energy as well as it will do some work. What type of work it will do? Work which is called as expansion. So it is difference in volume V2 minus V1 into external pressure, this much work P delta V, plus Q is plus or minus Q, it will give you the difference in internal energy. So generally This will be the cylinder in which gas is enclosed, and this will be pressure applied on the gas. It is called external pressure, and gas also will exert pressure, its own pressure. That is called internal pressure. Here in this figure, this illustrates the difference in volume or increase in volume in small amounts, delta V. Now, this is compression. Here, this was the original pressure. Now, we increase the external pressure. As a result, gas compressed. That means initial volume is greater than the final volume. Now, as we know, delta E is equal to Q minus W. Here, if delta E is 0, means there is no increase in its internal energy, it is isothermal process. Therefore, Q minus W will be equal to 0, or Q is equal to W. Means when there is no increase in internal energy of the system, the whole heat gained by the system is utilized to do work, or the whole heat is converted into work. Therefore, when delta is equal to 0, there is no change in internal energy of two states, same internal energy in initial and final state, then the whole energy gained by the system is equal to work done by the system. That is, the work done by the gas is exactly equal to the heat absorbed. It is nothing but Q is equal to W. Second, for a process in which volume remains constant, when volume remains constant means no work is done. If you consider this figure, if this is the volume in initial state and the same volume in final state, then there is no difference in volume, or delta V is equal to 0. Then what happens? Work of expansion will be 0, or T delta V will be equal to 0. Why? Pressure is multiplied by difference in volume. Therefore, difference in volume is 0, and hence work is 0. And the equation will become like this. The original equation is delta is equal to Q minus W, and it will become delta E is equal to Q minus 0, because work is 0. And we can write delta E is equal to Q. Means when system do not perform, or it will not do any work, the whole heat absorbed, it utilized to increase its internal energy. So whenever no work is done by the system, the whole heat is utilized to increase the internal energy. This is called delta is equal to QV, means at constant volume, heat at constant volume. Since delta E is a state function, QV must also be state function. Since delta E, that is internal energy, is a state function, therefore heat at constant volume is also a state function. Third condition, for an adiabatic process, that is when no heat is gained, means the system will not gain heat, but it will do some work. How it will do some work? At the expense of its own internal energy. Then what will happen? Q, that is heat gain, is 0. So you we substitute 0 here. So we will get delta E as equal to minus W, because it is 0. Delta E is equal to minus W, and it is called minus WQ. Why? Because Q is constant here. Q is 0 means no heat is gained. Therefore, it is delta E is equal to minus WQ. What is the meaning of this? Here heat is not gained because it is an adiabatic process. So heat is equal to 0. Therefore, whatever the work is done by the gas is done by utilizing its own internal energy. So internal energy of the system will decrease, or E2 will be less than E1. And the fourth one is for a process of at a constant pressure, the work done is given by P delta V. This I explained just now. When the gaseous system is taken and the gas is allowed to expand, V2 is the volume of in final state, and V1 is the volume of gas in initial state. Therefore, the difference is called delta V. When delta V is multiplied with P external or P, it is called work, or work done is given by P delta V. So, first law of thermodynamics, that is nothing but difference in internal energy delta E is equal to Q minus W, has four different forms or cases. First, at constant volume, work is zero. When work is zero, delta E is equal to Q. That means the whole heat gain is utilized to increase its internal energy. Second, at constant temperature, so delta E is zero, means there is no increase in internal energy. And third is no heat transfer, means the heat is not gained. So it is a diabatic process where we can say work is done at the expense of internal energy. And the fourth one is Q and W both are zero, means no heat gain and no work done. So this is all about. The last thing is limitations of first law. With this we will conclude. What are the limitations to thermodynamics first law? These are, this law states that energy can change its form, but it does not predict whether a process occurs spontaneously or not. As we know, all natural processes are spontaneous, so we must explain about the spontaneity of the system or reaction. So the first law of thermodynamics does not predict whether a process is spontaneous or not. Second is, this law states that energy in one form can change into another, but the total amount of energy remains constant. However, it has been observed that heat, which is a form of energy, cannot be completely converted into equivalent amount of work without producing some change elsewhere. Means, in general or under ordinary conditions, whole heat cannot be completely converted into work. As I stated earlier also, no system or engine is 100% efficient, means there will be loss of energy whenever we do some work. This was about first law of thermodynamics and its limitations. For today, let us conclude here. Thank you for watching, one and all. Thank you.